Those people that watched the movie The Secret years ago and maybe got really inspired about intention, and then you started to try to use it, and maybe you felt as though you were hitting some obstacles and some roadblocks, or maybe even you manifested the exact opposite of that which you were intending for. Those That's understandable. Understand that this intentional lifestyle, it takes a while to get the hang of it. And sometimes you have to kind of create almost in the reverse, or find kind of fall and meet these obstacles in order to get the clarity to be able to live this life all day. I will tell you, I have had my share of failures over the years on this type of work, but 25 years into this work, I am more committed to the intentional lifestyle than ever. Especially in times like now when the world is just seems so just so you just everything is up for grabs right now. Knowing that this idea that we can have this relationship with this intelligence that connects all things, and knowing that by communicating with that intelligence, living a lifestyle where there's this kind of regular communion, or this constant dialogue, this conversation, really, I will tell you, in all of these years, it has served me so incredibly well, which is why I am wanting to share it with as many people as possible, because this opportunity is there for everybody. It doesn't matter what your economic background is. It doesn't matter what your educational background is. It doesn't matter what the color of your skin is. Like, none of that matters. That each one of us has this beauty and this gorgeousness within ourselves. And when we learn how to be seated in that beauty, and then send intentions from that, that's when we're going to move the dial. You see, intentions don't come from the surface of your mind and all those thoughts that you have kind of racing through your head randomly throughout the day. Intentions come from your being. So it's like, what's the emotional tone behind all of those thoughts? Because that's where you're manifesting from. And so what I wanted to do in this video is just share a few things about intention and how we're using it in the Peace Project, and also give you an opportunity to help to get more involved if you're interested. But one of the things, if you've been practicing the Juneteenth meditation, is that you're probably noticing that when you finish the meditation, you're probably in a significantly different state in your nervous system than when you began. And there's a reason for that. The reason for that is I've been teaching biofeedback again 25 years, and I've studied with some of the best people in the world. And I have really packed that meditation with this opportunity for you to reach the beauty and the richness and the strength, the resilience within you. So understand that when we practice these meditations, we're touching something that is so powerful and so profound, that you know that it's something real. It's something significant. There we go. Something significant. So I'm going to encourage you, if you haven't listened to the Juneteenth meditation yet, sit down, give it a try. But you want to notice. You want to notice how you feel in the beginning of it, and then how you feel at the end. Okay. And don't discredit that. You see, what happens is, in that meditation, I'm having you open your heart and expand your energy field. And you can't help but get happier when you do that. But the idea that also the idea of being able to maintain it and hold it open as long as possible, which is why I also have you practice seeing you maintain that for the next 24 hours. Okay, so there's a great deal of skill kind of embedded into the whole meditation. The other thing is noticing the beauty of how it feels to send love to an area, right? And so, in this meditation, I'm having people open their hearts and just beam unconditional love at Minneapolis and beyond. And I encourage people to send intentions anywhere that they're drawn around the globe as well. And it's really interesting how your heart will kind of open, and it will kind of basically, all of a sudden, you're going to feel like, for some reason, I've been feeling called to send light to Washington, D.C. I don't know why. But, we basically, it's all of a sudden something springs forth from your spirit, and you're like, yeah, I need to send light there, or, to some other place in the world. And when we're apt to work as vessels like this, vessels of love, vessels of light, we become bathed in that love and light as well. And that's where our resilience strengthens. That's where we get stronger. So understand that that's why we've started a program called the Intentional Coherence Athlete Program, where we're teaching these skills. We're teaching the biofeedback skills. We're teaching the intentional skills to make sure that you're manifesting in the positive, because it's really easy to end up manifesting in the negative if you don't know about, say, your emotional addictions, or you don't know about, I call it the grumblies. If you kind of have a grumbly background in your psyche, which right now I think is rampant, and our nervous system feeds to that anyways. There's something called the negativity bias, so we tend to hang out in the negative anyways. And then you add in all the CNN and all of the Netflix shows that just are just people don't realize just how much they're putting into their brain and into their nervous system with very low brain waves, and this information is just going right in and agitating us, and we don't even know it. So we have this program where we're teaching people how to hold the buoyancy in their nervous system, to live an empowered life in real life. This idea that being able to send intentions on ahead of you, and then how do you work with that? How do you hold your vision, even though there's things in your life telling you that it's not, think that you're not really going in the direction that you want. All of that. We do that in this 4-month program, which I'd love to encourage you to go look at. I'll put the link below. But the reason why I'm saying that is because don't feel as though that if you tried this before in the past and you had some kind of glitch, or you feel like it didn't go well, that's not. That's no reflection of you, and it's no reflection of the work. It's actually part of the work. And that's how we clarify. And we work a lot in these programs of cleansing and clearing, releasing stuff out of our field, releasing stuff out of our psyches, so that we can be more clear manifestors, and to be able to manifest more quickly as time goes on. The other thing I just want to say is people do get happy for no good reason, meaning that we are lightening hearts and we're expanding fields. So, of course, you're going to get happier. And what we would notice year after year of doing these peace projects, of living this intentional lifestyle, is that people would be far more creative, and they would all of a sudden they'd finish a peace project and they were like off and running on a new project, or their relationships were improving, and we would hear all this positive feedback about the positive vibes that would happen in people's lives when they started to pay attention to the peaceful, when they did a peace project. Now, we don't want that to stop for you. We would like you to keep it going. There are resources around to help with that. If you go to you go to our website, peacefulcities.org, and you go up to archive, you'll see some meditations there. But there's another reason why I'm also talking about this, is because we are looking for more places to do peace projects, or more opportunities. And this was a peace project where we knew that everything that was happening was so epic that it really, we couldn't measure anything. Usually we like to measure a reduction in crime in a city or somewhere. But at this point, we knew that that was just not something. We could only measure changes in personal happiness. But I will tell you, I work with this amazing woman. Her name is Dr. Kadeen Reinhold. She's a professor of mathematics and statistics at the State University of New York at Albany. And Kadeen we are passionate about doing research. And essentially, it may sound really easy for us to do research. And actually, after me being at this for years, I've had a lot of conversations, and there's often some roadblocks. That's why we often do it at the city level, because at least we know we can foil city data. But here's what we'd really like to do. We would like to help everyday organizations, everyday people, maybe even, maybe nonprofits, basically everyday nonprofits. And if they're willing to share data, and if they're willing to do this, then we could be making peace projects for these. Maybe there's a nonprofit about significant behaviors in group homes or something like that, and they want to reduce those behaviors. Maybe the it's getting a little bit too violent, and you're worried about people getting hurt or something like that. Or maybe in a domestic violence shelter, or maybe something where people are willing to share their data, and then we can have our intenders send peaceful intentions to that, or whatever it is that we would work it through. So if you feel as though an organization that you feel as though people would open their heart to, that they would say, yeah, I want to help children, that need help with this, and you're willing to share some data, and you're willing to find somebody to share some data, we are all ears. So I'm gonna So if you can contact us, I'll give you the email and reach out to us, and we are more than happy to do that. And that goes to kind of a final comment that I want to say, and that is that I just love what Mary Claire said a couple days ago about how doing this work touches something so deep in her that it changes her, and it changed her organization on how they see themselves in the world. And that is what happens. I know that there are people out there that would like to every day wake up and actually be served in this manner, to lift the world in this manner. Okay. And I know that. I also know that there's not maybe a lot of them per capita, so to speak, that we have to kind of cast a wide net, but I know you're out there. And if you're one of those people that are willing to wake up each day and go to your meditation cushion and be willing to serve in this capacity, we are going to be putting together some programs to really train and to teach and encourage you to get more involved, because there's just the thing about, as I wrote a couple days ago, love is infinite, right? So we should just becoming a glutton for love, and just learning how more and more every day to become pure channels to just allow beauty and goodness to come through you out into the world. And boy, if I can't think of a time, the better time than right now for us, more and more of us, to become vessels of love and light and goodness. And the good news is as we send it out through us, we become bathed in it as well. We feel the strength in our own energy as well. We cultivate that amazing resilience to be able to get back up and go into those challenges in our lives, and to be able to feel refreshed, renewed, and feel like we have resources to manage them from a level of integrity. So, if you feel as though you're one of those people that just really likes this beautiful space that you're touching every day of the Juneteenth meditation, or if you're one of those people that you are, maybe you really believe in the power of prayer, you know you've been living by prayer, all of that, you've been living by intention, and you know somebody who runs an organization that could use some help, an organization that would open people's hearts, that they would want to send intentions to, again, I'm going to leave the email to the left, and please email us. I would tell you we would do many, many more peace projects if we had access to more data. So, there's a lot of people doing a lot of prayer work and a lot of world meditations and world this and world that, and that's all great. But Dr. Reinhold and I, our passion is research. So we don't mind putting our feet to the fire and measuring this law of attraction stuff, like not just talking about sending in peaceful intentions, but measuring it as well. So if you're ready to come have a conversation with us, we are looking forward to hearing from you. And if you could, please pass this video to as many people as possible. And if you're interested in learning more about becoming an intentional coherence athlete, about being able to live the intentional coherence lifestyle, and every day knowing that your intentions are working for you, not just your own body and not just your own physicality, but you're working on other levels as well to facilitate change in your life, come on out, become an intentional coherence athlete. We have a great time, and it's the most amazing group of people, because if you can imagine a group of people lightening their hearts, you can imagine that the jokes are funny and they're long, and we just have a great time in each other's presence. So it's a beautiful community to step into as well. All right, thank you all for listening. We hope to, stay in the loop somehow or reach out. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.